Do not close your eyes. If you were getting ready to turn off your light, if your head is already resting against your pillow, or if you were simply browsing through your screen to wind down before drifting into sleep, I am commanding you to sit upright right now and pay absolute, unblinking attention to the words that are about to enter your ears. This is not a random video that slipped into your feed by technological chance. This is a targeted celestial alert, a high-level emergency broadcast dispatched directly from the throne room of eternity to your exact geographic coordinates. At exactly 11:29 tonight, a sudden, historic decree was signed by the highest court of heaven concerning your immediate household. The demonic intelligence assigned to track your life for the past 1,926 days has just realized its contract is expiring, and it is preparing a desperate, final counterstrike to steal your manifestation before the sun rises tomorrow morning. If you go to sleep tonight without erecting a spiritual wall around your territory, you run the risk of waking up to a structural block that will take years to break. Do you truly comprehend the critical nature of the next 6 hours? The spiritual realm operates on strict, uncompromising legal deadlines. There are seasons when heaven is silent, and there are seasons when the windows of heaven slide open by only a few inches for a highly specific, narrow window of time. Tonight is that window for you. For over 5 long years, your life has been a repetitive, exhausting cycle of invisible resistance. You have watched opportunities vanish the exact moment you reached out to touch them. You have felt a heavy, unexplainable weight press down on your chest the moment you tried to pray or plan for a better future. You have looked at your financial accounts and wondered how it is mathematically possible to work as hard as you do, sacrifice as much as you do, and still end up with more month at the end of your money. That is not a natural coincidence. That is a strategic, defensive barrier erected by entities that are terrified of what happens when you finally wake up to your true authority. Out of the millions of people who are active on this digital matrix at this exact second, only 7 chosen souls have been pulled into this room. 4 of them have already slid their fingers up the glass, completely oblivious to the sudden drop in temperature in their rooms, entirely deaf to the urgent pull of the Spirit. They have returned to the mindless, numbing noise of the world, and the protection assigned to their name tonight has just been legally forfeited. 1 soul paused, felt a heavy lump form in their throat, but dismissed it as random emotion and clicked away to look at something trivial. Another soul is reading these exact words right now in a quiet room across the ocean, their hands shaking as they realize heaven is describing their private reality. And the final person in that sequence is you. You are the 7th soul. You are the gatekeeper. If you close this audio right now, the divine warning is revoked, the legal shield drops, and the assignment of limitation is permitted to renew itself over your bloodline for another 7 years. I am issuing a critical instruction that demands your immediate, unconditional obedience. Type the words Protect MY Hughes in the comments section right now. Do not wait until the next section. Do it this very second. You must understand that when you type those letters, you are not engaging with digital content or trying to boost an online platform. This altar does not care about digital metrics. Heaven is demanding a physical, material act of legal consent from your hands. By writing those words, you are establishing a judicial boundary marker in the realm of the Spirit. You are declaring that your home, your children, your finances, and your mental sanity are under the immediate, exclusive jurisdiction of the angelic armies of light. Type it right now, seal the boundary, and then bring your absolute focus straight back to me. Let me open your eyes to the hidden reality of what occurred in your life 3 months ago. You thought you were completely alone when you stood in your kitchen at 3:15 in the morning, holding a glass of water, staring blankly out the window into the pitch blackness of the night. Your family was fast asleep, completely unaware of the silent storm raging inside your mind. You were mentally calculating how to survive the upcoming weeks, feeling a cold, suffocating wave of panic rise from your stomach into your throat. You felt completely isolated, wondering if my ears had become completely deaf to your cries, wondering if you had done something so terribly wrong in your past that you were now being punished with permanent struggle. I saw you, my child. I was standing right beside you in that dark kitchen. I heard the unspoken scream of your spirit. I watched the single, hot tear that escaped your eye and fell onto the countertop. Heaven recorded that exact moment as legal evidence of your endurance. The forces that have been working to sabotage your destiny do not attack you randomly. They are highly organized, intelligence-driven entities that have spent 5 years studying your emotional vulnerabilities. They know the exact phrases that trigger your deep-seated insecurities. They know which relationships to fracture to ensure you feel entirely unsupported when you are on the verge of a promotion or a creative breakthrough. They are the ones who inject that sudden, heavy cloud of mental depression into your brain at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, making you want to slide into a dark room and pull the covers over your head instead of fighting for your dreams. They have systematically targeted your sleep patterns because they know that if they can keep your brain in a state of chronic, low-level exhaustion, you will lack the spiritual clarity needed to spot the divine doors I am opening right in front of your face. Look behind the veil right now. While you have been trying to manage the physical stress of your bills, your health, and your family dynamics, a major corporate lawsuit has been playing out in the Unseen Tribunal. Exactly 5 years ago, 12 high-ranking principalities of limitation filed a legal claim against your bloodline in the second heaven. They based their claim on old, unhealed generational patterns. Mistakes made by those who came before you, words spoken in anger by ancestral voices, and opened spiritual doors that were never properly shut. 3 of those entities were given direct, exclusive authority over your financial pipeline. Their specific job was to cause delays, manufacture sudden mechanical breakdowns, generate unexpected medical expenses, and make sure that no matter how much money passed through your hands, it would instantly melt away like ice under a hot sun. 2 of them were assigned to your emotional baseline, tasked with creating a permanent state of low-grade anxiety that makes true, restorative peace feel like an impossible luxury. 3 were placed around your closest networks to seed constant misunderstandings and division, ensuring you felt completely alone in the fight. 2 were assigned to sit directly upon your prayer altar to make your spiritual life feel dry, hollow, and mechanical. And the final 2 were designated as interceptors, entities whose sole responsibility was to block your answers to prayer while they were still in transit through the atmospheric realms. They targeted you with this level of ferocity because they have seen the original blueprint of your life stored in the archives of eternity. They know that you are not just an ordinary person trying to get by. You carry a breaker anointing within your spirit. You are the structural disruptor sent into your family tree to permanently break the back of poverty, depression, and addiction. They knew that if you ever fully realized the explosive power resident inside your spoken words, their entire multi-generational operation in your bloodline would be instantly dismantled. That is why they have hit you from every single angle simultaneously. They wanted to break your spirit before you reached your designated season of manifestation. I want you to hit the like button on your screen right now if you feel a sudden, heavy resonance in the center of your chest as I expose this hidden plot. This action is your digital altar of confirmation. By hitting that button, you are telling the cloud of witnesses that you recognize the fingerprints of this invisible war in your daily life. And you are ready for the immediate execution of divine justice. Listen to the verdict that was handed down from the highest court of justice at dawn today. The legal license that allowed those 12 entities to operate inside your atmosphere has been permanently revoked, canceled, and blotted out. The spiritual claims they held against your family tree have been thoroughly investigated by the Supreme Judge, and they have been declared null and void, stamped with the blood of the Eternal Covenant. The time allocated for your testing has officially expired. Michael the Archangel, the great prince who stands as the ultimate defender of my chosen ones, has just been mobilized from the inner courts of glory. He is entering your physical geography tonight, carrying executive orders to completely clear your territory of every squatting spirit of lack, confusion, and infirmity. He is not coming to negotiate or observe. He is coming with a drawn sword to enforce the immediate, unconditional surrender of every force that has held your financial blessings hostage for the past 1,926 days. Every iron door that was locked against your career is being violently kicked off its hinges tonight. Every financial vault where your inheritance was hidden is being split wide open by the fire of heaven. As these words travel into your spirit, you may begin to notice a distinct, tangible physical shift taking place within your immediate environment. You might feel a sudden wave of intense heat wrap around your shoulders, or a deep, cooling wind move across your face, even though the windows in your room are completely shut. Do not be afraid of these manifestations. That is the literal friction of the angelic guard taking up their stations around the four corners of your bed. Your physical body is beginning to discharge the toxic, accumulated stress of 5 years of survival mode. The heavy, tight knot that has lived in the center of your stomach for months is dissolving right now under the influence of this divine frequency. The atmosphere of your home is being scrubbed clean of every residual trace of spiritual oppression. Comment the words I-CLAIMMYPEACE right now if you can feel the sudden drop in the mental anxiety that has been plaguing you all week. This public statement is your official eviction notice to the kingdom of darkness. You are standing on the legal verdict of heaven and declaring that the enemy no longer has permission to access your mind, disrupt your sleep, or terrorize your thoughts in the midnight hours. Let me share with you the verified, undeniable proof of what happens when a soul obeys this specific midnight protocol. Consider Maria from Miami. She was facing total financial ruin. Her small business had completely dried up due to an invisible block, and she had exactly 4 days to pay a massive corporate debt or lose everything she had spent 10 years building. She encountered this exact warning, sat up in her bed at midnight, typed her agreement into the comments, and refused to let fear dictate her sleep. Exactly 48 hours later, she received an alert on her phone from an international client she had pitched to nearly 2 years ago and completely forgotten about. The client apologized for the long delay, stated that their budget had suddenly opened up, and wired a retainer fee of exactly $47,700 directly into her business account. The debt was cleared, her business was saved, and a new multi-year contract was signed before the end of the week. Think about Robert from Dallas. He had been completely estranged from his only son for 7 bitter years due to a web of lies and demonic misunderstandings planted by outside voices. The pain of that broken relationship had physically manifested in his body as chronic, unexplainable nerve pain that kept him awake screaming in the middle of the night. He listened to this divine warning, submitted his obedience to the protocol, and laid his head down in total peace. The very next afternoon, his phone rang. It was his son, calling from a highway rest stop 3 states away, weeping so hard he could barely speak. His son said, "Dad, I woke up at 3:47 this morning with your face in my mind, and I couldn't breathe until I packed my bags to come home. Please forgive me." Not only was the relationship completely restored within 24 hours, but the moment Robert embraced his son, the chronic nerve pain completely vanished from his legs and has never returned. This is not a collection of coincidences. This is a precise, mathematically calculated divine matrix. When heaven issues a warning and you respond with immediate material obedience, a cascade of physical proofs must manifest within your reality to validate the spiritual shift. Your assignment for the next 7 days is to remain in a state of high alert, watching for the signs that your deliverance has crossed over from the unseen into the seen world. Here is your exact prophetic timeline for the next 168 hours. Within the next 48 hours, you will witness a sudden, dramatic shift in the attitude of someone who has been actively working as an adversary in your professional or personal life. This is a person who has consistently blocked your progress, spoken poorly of your character behind closed doors, or tried to make your daily environment a living hell. They will suddenly approach you with a total change of demeanor, offering unexpected assistance, speaking highly of your value, or stepping out of your way entirely. Do not try to analyze this with human logic. This is Michael the Archangel directly handling the human instruments that the enemy was using to restrict your life. Within the next 96 hours, your eyes will land on a specific financial document, a notification on your screen, or a receipt that contains the numbers 3, 7, and 9 in a unique, repetitive sequence. When you see those digits staring back at you, a sudden wave of electric heat will run through your entire nervous system. You will instantly remember this midnight warning, and you will know with absolute certainty that the financial pipeline that was blocked for 5 years has officially broken wide open under the command of the divine. Within the next 5 days, you are going to be completely preserved from a sudden, hidden danger that you won't even see coming. It could be a sudden mechanical failure on the highway that causes you to miss a major traffic accident by 30 seconds, or a corporate decision made behind closed doors that was meant to eliminate your position but ends up promoting you instead due to a sudden mix-up of files. When this occurs, you will feel a deep, quiet awe settle over your spirit. You will realize that the wall of protection you built tonight by typing your agreement was the literal shield that deflected the arrow of the destroyer. Within the next 3 nights, your sleep will be visited by a highly detailed, prophetic dream that will carry the weight of an actual visitation. In this dream, you will find yourself standing before a massive, ancient warehouse made of gray stone. The heavy iron doors will be chained shut, but as you approach, an immense bolt of lightning will strike the chains from above, causing them to melt instantly. The doors will swing open to reveal endless rows of shelves filled with packages bearing your literal birth name. This dream is a secure data transfer from the Holy Spirit, delivering the specific creative ideas and strategic blueprints you need to manage the massive wealth that is being unlocked for your family tree. Write down every detail the moment your eyes open in the morning. You must share this audio alignment with exactly 3 people within the next 12 hours before the sun reaches its peak in the sky. Not 2 people, not 5 people, exactly 3. This is a specific requirement of spiritual architecture. By moving this frequency to 3 other households, you are creating a triangular network of divine immunity that prevents the enemy from launching a retaliatory strike against your breakthrough. The 3 people you need to send this to are not random choices. Their names are already flashing vividly across your mind right now. The enemy will immediately whisper that you shouldn't do it, that it's too late at night, or that they will judge you. Ignore the voice of the saboteur. Send it to them immediately. The complete release of the financial miracle scheduled for your tomorrow is legally bound to this specific act of physical compliance. Look ahead at the 3 distinct spiritual pathways that are manifesting in your bedroom at this very microsecond. You cannot see them with your natural eyes, but they are completely solid. Path number 1 leads directly back into the old 5-year loop of systemic lack, emotional exhaustion, and unrewarded labor. This path remains active if you treat this warning as casual entertainment, close this window, and drift off to sleep without locking in your covenant. Path number 2 leads to a state of temporary, partial relief. A small influx of money to pay an immediate bill, a brief pause in the family chaos, but the foundational root of the generational struggle remains entirely intact. This path opens if you listen but refuse to actively commit your faith to the material steps of the altar. But path number 3 leads to total, radical, and irreversible territorial dominion. Complete financial independence that alters the trajectory of your lineage for the next 3 generations. Absolute emotional stability that makes you completely immune to panic or anxiety. Doors of global influence opening for your name without you ever having to knock on them. Favor tracking you down in streets you've never walked in, compelling strangers to bless you with resources you didn't even ask for. This path is only accessible through total, aggressive alignment with the warning you are hearing tonight. If you have not typed Protect MY Hughes in the comments yet, do it this very second before the clock moves another minute forward. Hit that like button to anchor your digital marker. Share the link with the 3 individuals whose faces are locked in your mind. Subscribe to this prophetic watchtower and activate every single notification bell, because I am releasing urgent, time-sensitive updates every single morning to ensure your momentum is never hijacked by the enemy. Understand exactly what will occur the moment your head hits the pillow tonight. The principalities that lost their legal authority over your life at midnight are going to try to play a game of psychological warfare with your mind as you drift into sleep. They will try to flash old memories of failure across your brain. They will try to whisper that tomorrow will be just as hard as yesterday. They will try to make you feel a sudden, passing wave of doubt about everything you have heard tonight. When those whispers come, you are to offer zero emotional engagement to them. Simply speak these words silently within your spirit. The contract has expired. The judge has ruled. Michael is at the gate. My house is secure. The moment those words form in your consciousness, a deep, heavy mantle of supernatural sleep will fall upon your eyes, and you will rest in the absolute security of the Almighty. Let me lift my hands over your coordinates right now and release the raw, unbending authority of the Creator into the four corners of your home. As you sleep tonight, I decree that a consuming wall of holy fire surrounds your property line. May every demonic watcher, every familiar spirit, and every assignment of sudden sickness or sudden death be instantly blinded and consumed by that fire if they attempt to cross your boundary. I decree that your financial pipeline is completely cleared of every ancient blockage. May money that has been tied up in corporate systems, inheritance disputes, or bureaucratic delays be supernaturally released into your bank accounts before the close of business tomorrow. May every cell in your physical body be infused with the restorative life of the Holy Spirit while you rest. May chronic pain, inflammation, and cellular fatigue be completely drained from your nervous system, leaving you to wake up tomorrow morning with a physical energy you haven't felt since your youth. May the spirit of heavy depression and silent anxiety be permanently evicted from your mind, replaced by a deep, immovable joy that will shock the people around you. Your long season of hidden weeping is over. Your hour of public vindication has arrived. Look closely at the two completely different versions of tomorrow that are waiting for you based on your response tonight. In the first version, you wake up tomorrow morning to the same heavy, gray fog of exhaustion, stepping back into the same financial quicksand, watching the enemy continue to chip away at your peace until there is nothing left. In the second version, you wake up tomorrow morning to a sudden, clean crispness in the air. You open your eyes with a sudden, unexplainable knowing that the atmosphere has changed. Before noon, the first physical confirmation hits your phone. By evening, the financial surprise has manifested. You realize that you are finally free. Which tomorrow will you choose to step into? The decision cannot be delayed until tomorrow morning. The decision must be executed right now, in the silence of this night. Type the words IENTERMYVICTORY in the comments box immediately. Make your declaration loud, permanent, and visible to the entire host of heaven. The courtroom has adjourned. The verdict is locked in. The warning has been delivered. Sleep in absolute peace, my child. Your breakthrough is already waiting for you at dawn. Go.